Okay, we're gonna open the meeting, and the first order of business is for the Board of Selectmen to elect a chair.
Oh, we didn't discuss this before.
You're not supposed to.
Oh, if you will take, I will happily nominate Scott again. I think you've been a fine
Thank you.
head of state, as it were, for the past year, and I'm content with that. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think he does a good job, and I think with everybody's involvement in other things, I think it would be the right thing to do to leave Scott in charge.
All right.
Do you
So
accept
we
the
need to make a
nomination?
motion.
Do I have to motion or do I nominate? I make a motion to elect.
Yeah.
To re-elect Scott Doherty as chair.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye,
Alright,
All right,
it's all yours,
Thank you.
all
Scott.
right,
go for it.
yeah, exactly. Chief Gamache, I know you have a 6 o'clock,
Yeah, in
so,
contact with,
yeah, if you wanna lead off, we'll get you on your way.
I can. Feel bad for these guys, gotta listen to me every month.
Just a tough act to follow, so.
Thank you, sir.
Pay attention to the chief now.
Sorry, I was actually looking at what lies ahead.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
So starting at the top, emergency calls to date 67, noteworthy incidents in the last month. I know this was on last month's agenda, but I wasn't here, so the interstate close call, we come pretty close to getting responders hit and apparatus, which the interstate's one of the more dangerous things that we do. We have that on video, so it's pretty neat to use it as a training tool, but we took all the steps that we could take to hit that, including a blocker pump, cones, flares, all that stuff, so just by luck that no apparatus or no people got damaged.
Wow, yeah.
And state police dealt with the young man that was going faster than he should have in the snow, coming upon emergency apparatus. I'm not sure what they did with him, but it's none of my business, so our people were safe. The major incident in the last month, we had a significant carbon monoxide incident overnight up on the northwest part of town. Thankfully, the family had proper detection in their home. We went, we monitored it. The levels were, if they slept overnight in it, they wouldn't have woken up in the morning.
Really?
So we
Wow,
eliminated
scary.
the source, we ventilated the house down to safe levels, and we recommended they find a place to stay for the night other than the house, because they had no heat, so. So that was it. That was
Wow.
the extent of that one. We helped the resident on Morrow Road last week, finish up installing brand new smoke shield detectors, and theirs were probably over 30 years old when they asked me to come look at them, so they did get that prompt from the fire department through the newsletter, and that's what got that ball rolling, so, yeah. Numerous inspections, from here on out with no snow cover, fire permits are required in town. The annual ceremony, thank you all for your support, all three of you, actually almost everybody in this room, thank you for coming, much appreciated. And our one and only fundraiser, Pancake Breakfast, is Saturday, the last Saturday in April, so something will be in the newsletter about that next month.
Deadline's the 19th.
Excuse me,
Deadline is the 19th.
I sent it today.
Okay, just checking.
Hildreth Farm, I met with both of the people that own it, the general contractors, cistern will be going in early in the process. So they're gonna connect us with the people that are putting the cistern in to make sure we have the right fittings and all that stuff. House numbers have been assigned, I can't assign them to the state portal until actually a foundation is in. And the state portal means if you're building a house, once you put a foundation in, I go in and I log it, and they come to the site and they geocache the site, so mainly if somebody calls from that area, they can bring up the address, right? And then the address doesn't exist until we actually take that step, so, so there is a process there. A new engine update, so probably, they anticipate completion in May sometime. I think realistically, by the time it's hitting the road in Canterbury, is late June. By the time it comes up and gets retrofitted and we get training on it and all that stuff, so between now and the end of May, it'll probably I'll be going to Florida 2 separate times for 3 days each time to do the different processes of the build to review, you know, it's our $800,000 fire truck, so, somebody's gonna put eyes on it, and, you know, that's common in that practice, building a vehicle.
Do you
like
not just put eyes on it, do you get to drive it and poke all the buttons and?
No, not really,
Oh,
not really at that point, no.
okay,
Let's see. I met with Red Cross, they came in last week, so Red Cross provides many services in town, but one of them being if people are displaced of a fire, CO event or something, we make a connection and they get a place to stay regardless of their ability to pay or not. So they set them up with that, so they were in the leadership of Red Cross were in my station last week. The local emergency operations plan is just about complete.
I have the signature pages here.
Okay.
So, one for you, chief,
Yep.
and one for the Board of Selectmen.
Well, I read through the plan and it looks good to me. I think that all concerned did a good job on it.
notice promulgation,
That's it.
So by, I don't know if it's by law or by general practice, you're to be provided each with a copy. I'll discuss with Ken whether it's electronic or we print you up a copy or whatever type of deal, but myself and Chief Crotty have, you know, we'll have access to the plan and there'll be hard copies in the EOC in the event we have an event, have to open up the EOC, so we're working to get that done right now. It was quite the process, not as painful as a hazard mitigation process, but the people we contracted to do it, they were outstanding in helping us with the process, so. Long overdue, like I said, one of the first things I identified when I took over in 2020, but it was, there were other things that took priority over getting that done, so. Like I said, in the not too distant future, I'll be presenting the plan to yourself, and as far as rolling it out with my officer corps, at one of my future officer meetings and rolling out the highlights so they know what exists and what's in it, all that stuff, so. And we're gonna, they recommend it be kind of updated, as we up things in the Emergency Operations Center. And speaking of the Emergency Operations Center, so Chief Crotty and I discussed it, we're both in agreement, Ken is too, working in the field, that our EOC now is really just a physical facility. There's no operational capacity in there for, IT, you know, big screens to kind of, you know, to put things on and have a presentation in there, so we're gonna work, and my goal is by the end of this year, make sure that actually a functional EOC, have a couple of different phone banks in there. If we need to set up in there, people can work phone banks and different phone numbers and stuff like that, so right now, like I said, it's just a physical space. We'd make it work if we need it tomorrow, that's not optimal, so we're trying to figure out and discussing what our options are. So that's the project for this year. Radio reprogramming in the not too distant future, the Concord Fire Line that dispatches our fire for EMS calls. That channel's not gonna work, probably within about 3 weeks. So I have a radio programmer coming in, we have like 50 radios probably, between portable radios and mobile radios, and coming in to reprogram them with a new cold plug, so.
wow,
We're working on that. I make it a point when a new chief in this surrounding town takes seat, and I've met with the Tilton Northfield chief last month. Get on the same page, exchange contact information, and then Belmont, we're playing phone tag with one another, so we're planning to get that done as well. And because of the warrants that passed, the command car purchase, I haven't proposed anything yet, I try and know which way I'm going, but in the next week or two. I think best case scenario, if I tell them this week I want the vehicle, they're projecting it to arrive in mid-August. And about a month to upfit from there, so it'll be mid-September timeframe that, you know, that'll actually become the rescue. And I'm also right now getting a value on the rescue, what we can get for it, because I don't plan to keep that vehicle.
Yep.
And same thing with the extrication equipment, there's 3 different vendors I'm working with, we'll make a decision soon, with the new extrication platform.
and it was brought up at town meeting, but you keep the old gasoline
Yeah,
powered
with 2
stuff, right?
engines, the old one's functional, it's fine. You know, it's functional, it just takes 3 or 4 people to set up.
Right.
With a new one, one person can roll and take it and get it and make it to go, you know, so. Yeah, so we'll keep both platforms, because there have been incidents where we could have used 2 separate devices with, you know, multiple vehicles, accident and trap and all that, so. That's all I have, unless you have questions.
That's a lot, no, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Chief.
Have a good evening.
Chief Cruddy, how about you next?
I'll ask you to pass this one that way.
Yay, speed test.
Yeah, I got some data for you guys. Certification.
Yes. This is turtle, very cute.
So we'll
No,
start with
this is a
the,
different one apparently.
yeah, we'll start, yeah, there are two different locations, so,
They both have turtles, so
yes, they do.
you will notice.
Understood.
We'll start with the statistics for the month.
Yep.
Last month, we had 6 incidents, 1 arrest, 3 accidents, 37 citations, and 320 calls for service. Hosting a field training officer course in August, which gets us, again, 2 free seats, which I've given
Yep.
on the way. And in September, we're hosting the cognitive interviewing and detecting deception course. Again, we got free seats for that, so we're not paying for any of those. We've had 4.5 hours of miscellaneous training in that time frame. We did get the speed radar device.
Oh,
We got
good.
that in. March 2nd, we put that out on Baptist Hill Road.
So we don't have to borrow from,
We don't have to borrow
Franklin?
from Epson's, where we're
Epson
borrowing,
anymore.
yep.
oh, yay.
Did I tell you I got an email inquiry about that?
No.
I did, about, specifically about Baptist Hill Road, and,
Okay.
that person asked if it was recording license plates.
It does not.
That's what I told him, I'm familiar enough
So
with these.
this is just a small portion of the reports we get.
Yeah.
We get, it'll give us a breakdown of the dates, time. I'm trying to think of what else was on it. There's a bunch of reports. This was just more simpler to read type reports.
Yeah.
The front page here will tell you, the ADT is the average daily traffic, so combined in a week, only had 109 cars go by that thing on Baptist Hill
I
Road.
see that.
Really?
Yeah. And your grade, so, I'm trying to think how to break it down. So that green turtle, as you call her, that's just everything under the speed limit of 30. The yellow is over the speed limit, but not quite fast enough where it's something that we would enforce. And then the red is what we would enforce, which is basically anything over 38 miles per hour.
And I'm assuming this chart, changes depending on where you put the unit, depending on what the
Yeah, we can,
speed
so
limit
we can
is on
set,
that.
in the software on the computer, we
Yeah.
can set the speed limit. And if you look on that second page.
Oh.
So the first line is total vehicles, the second line is the southbound lane, third line is the northbound lane. And if you look like the southbound lane, where it says 132.
Yeah.
That's vehicles going between 30 and 35 miles per hour. And then it's 35 to 40 miles per hour is 123. And 40 cars going from 40 to 45. We did have one going between 65 and 70.
One was going 70 on
Yeah. It's between 65 and 70.
Baptist Hill?
Yeah.
What the
And
heck?
again, we can see what time of day that was.
I didn't even think you'd be airborne half the time. Wow, that's just nuts.
Maybe the road agent's doing too good of a job on that.
Maybe, I think we need a few speed bumps. Holy moly. Well, and there's one going on the oh no, that's combined, never mind.
Yeah, the combined is the top is all of them.
Right.
So again, you're getting about 100 cars a day going down Baptist Road.
Still that one car going 60 too, that's still
But it's still pretty fast for that road. Very fast for that road.
crazy.
But it, the reports we were getting, it was every day going between 60 and 70 miles an hour.
Oh, okay,
So this just shows that it's really not every day. Now,
and it's not a lot.
right. My thought is, it's a narrow road, it's trees on both sides, so it actually looks faster than it really is. The next page was Boyce Road.
Yep.
We do have a speeding problem on Boyce Road. It's easier, so you're getting about 787 cars a day on Boyce Road. But if you look on that second page, cause it breaks it up better. So Bush Road's 35 miles an hour, But again, if you look at the westbound lane, you're getting 816 cars a day between 40 and 45, 165 between 45 and 50, 19 between 50 and 55, and that's just the westbound lane. Then you come down, same thing, 740 between 40 and 45, 120 between 45 and 50, and it goes up. You know,
You
so we
get
do
70
have,
miles on bikes where you hit that curve.
this was at the power lines,
Oh, yeah, yeah, still,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you
okay,
know, that's
wow.
that little straightaway there, so people are cruising right along.
Well, you know what they're trying to do, is they're trying to beat the people who went straight, to see who
Yeah,
gets
and
to
they
the,
go up to White
who
Road and
gets
get
to,
right,
who
yeah.
gets to the
Yeah.
corner first.
You're probably right, probably right.
I only
So on
say that cause I've
on,
been guilty of that myself once or twice.
On Baptist Hill Road, we had an area of 350,
Wow.
so, and again, we can put it on different areas, so, but for now, that's where we decided to put it, based on some of the complaints that we got.
I can see how this is going to be a great tool.
Now, I can send you guys like the actual complete list of all the different reports it gives us. There's just a lot to print out, and I have basically $35 printers. So it was a lot for me to print out for the PD.
This
Wow.
gives us, I think, a really good kind of.
These were the
snapshot.
simpler reports to read.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
brought these.
So what happens now that you have like a time frame when,
So it gives us an idea of when we should be over, like on Boyce Road, when we
Okay.
should be over there running radar, you know, what days
Yeah.
more than others.
Very helpful.
Yeah, instead of us guessing when to be over
so
there,
I'm guessing that, you know, part of the other reports is the timestamp.
it breaks up days, time,
Okay.
yes. It gives us more information to use of when to be in certain areas.
Okay. This seems like money well spent. Yay.
Well, honestly, we didn't spend a lot of money.
No,
Right, it's gonna be helpful for us, cause instead of us playing a guessing game of where to be, we
Yeah.
can kinda narrow it down, instead of spending, you know, 3 hours on Boyce Road trying to figure out when they're there.
Yep.
We now have a good idea of when we should be over there,
Yeah,
great, good,
so.
cool.
great, thank you. How often do you move it?
We keep it up for a week at a time, so it's in its third location now.
Okay,
Undisclosed location.
Yes, undisclosed.
oh, I can suggest a few though, can we email
You can
suggestions?
email me anytime.
Alright, good. I've got a
Sergeant
couple.
Westgate's the one that's been putting it out, moving it, downloading
Yeah,
everything, so you can email
great.
him, would be the ideal person to send.
Yeah.
And he moves it on the weekends typically.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, any questions?
None
I
from me?
don't think so, no.
Got it?
No?
Good, okay,
Alright.
cool,
Thanks, Ed.
thank you, chief. Rachel or Sam, either of you need to get out of here?
You go first, Emma.
There you go, alright.
20% of people there, this would be you.
Sam, off the top of your head, I'm just curious, how many people were at second session?
159.
That's it?
159.
I'm sorry, 159, what?
At second session.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it looked a little empty. Okay,
Unpaid receivables, everybody's received their second dunning notice that says the lien notice is coming next and that'll be sent out next week.
Alright.
So everybody on this list is aware of what the process is and what the date is before the lien notice goes out.
Yep.
So we've received dribs and drabs of funds, but nothing that, and we have heard nothing from Beulah Fellowship whatsoever,
Okay.
no contact.
Yeah.
So some of these people, it doesn't surprise me, but Beulah Fellowship with the bill that they're starting to rack up,
yeah,
yeah. It's not like they're coming back undeliverable, it's not like they're refusing them, so,
well, when he
They're
came
getting
in, we checked pretty carefully about where things were supposed to go, so, huh. Alrighty, wow. Oh, yeah,
town meeting minutes are under review, and then they'll
Very
come to
good.
you to check them out.
Yep.
392 ballots cast, so that was a higher turnout than I expected,
Yeah.
but
I think that honestly higher than all of us expected. I thought it would be much lighter, but it's great to see. Thank you to everybody, you know.
questions for me?
None from me?
no,
Alright,
Okay.
thank
but I
you.
suppose
Thank
while
you.
we're recording, we should say thank you to everybody who came out and voted and came to town meeting, who's ever watching the video after this.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks for all your hard work to
Thank
make it happen.
Yep.
And Bessie, the voting machine, did admirably.
Yeah, seem to.
Thank you.
You've got trustees tonight?
I do, they're in there. Always in the conference room, so we could.
Okay.
Good evening, Mrs. Baker.
Good evening, good evening. What we were whispering about, was on my list, actually. I'm installing a keypad lock like you have up at Sammy Lake
Oh, yeah,
for the archive.
Yep.
So Sam is assisting in that. So
very good.
thank you and well done on Friday. We are going to meet Jennifer Woberski this evening.
Oh, good.
Yes, we have invited her to attend our trustees meeting, and to come to the library to get to know a little bit about us. And so she's gonna attend with us this evening. So, that's good news, and we were glad to see she got so many votes, and we hope that she gets to know our library.
Yep.
Our main emphasis right now is on our library of things. We're currently up to 49 items that are available for loan for 1 week. And as is the trend in the state and the nation, the library of things is really how libraries are innovating, just in addition to books, but things and passes. So we're launching our pass offering. We're gonna have Squam Lakes Courier Museum of Art, New Hampshire State Park Pass, Petals in the Pines, Children's Museum, I'll give these to you later, sorry. Children's Museum of New Hampshire, Montshire Science, Bedrock Gardens, Mount Washington Observatory, Fisher Cats Ballpark, and Museum of Science Boston, and Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum. I'll send those to you.
It's a
So-
great list.
Yes, and that is thanks to friends for their hard work and their donations. Pub night was very successful. They were able to raise $1,862 in that evening.
There were a lot of jars that were stuffed,
There were a lot of stuffed jars. So
leprechaun gold.
there was a lot of gold in those jars, and we're so thankful because that is how we're able to do all those things.
Yeah, great.
And very happy to report on the maintenance that I talked to Peter Gladys today. And he's sending his son tomorrow because we're still without that gutter. And that's probably because it's been winter for 10 years.
Yep.
So he's gonna come tomorrow, so hopefully we'll be able to have that patched up.
Yeah.
Good.
While he's here and you have a captive audience,
Yes,
I emailed Peter last week about the cap on the addition portion of the town hall.
Yes.
The roof, the ridgeline cap,
yeah.
we're losing some shingles off it. Could you
Oh, yeah,
point,
look at that.
could you point him in that direction?
I will do that,
emailed Peter and
sir.
I didn't hear back. If his son is coming by, kind of drag him across the parking lot
I
and say,
will.
Hey, look at this.
Ridge line, I can see it now, ridge line on the addition.
thank you.
You're welcome. I've been waiting since last June, so
Yeah,
let's hope we get them.
well, we had a voter who came in and grabbed me and said, you gotta come look at this. And
Yeah, I hadn't
that's-
noticed that.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Yeah, it's just the cap,
It pays to look up.
Can he do the woodwork on the post that got?
probably, yeah.
Would you have a look at that? Can he look at it too?
Is that in
Yeah.
the budget?
Yeah.
The woodwork on
Just so
the,
he can give an estimate, right?
On the ramp, there's a
When you go up the
post,
ramp, there's
the
a-
very first post on the
Yeah.
left-hand side that got broken off.
first post.
I can email you a
Some
picture,
storm
I mean,
damage.
I can text you a picture if you want, Rachel.
Left-hand
Storm
side.
damage.
You
Indeed.
can't miss it, it's right
Find it.
as you go up on the ramp.
Do we want him to look at that hole in the floor on the right side bench?
There was a hole in the floor.
Yeah, if you-
Inside?
Mark,
Yeah,
Mark
you know-
Hopkins, or I don't know, who was it that put a piece of plywood over it? It was
Oh.
one they had to, when they were doing, electrical work or something
Okay.
in there.
And
And
it's
there's a
right,
little square piece of plywood right up by the door, by the storage room up there.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
maybe we don't bother with that.
That's, I, wait for now.
Let's
but
wait.
the
Let's see if
outside
we
place
can
is
do
good,
something
you're right,
else.
if he could look at that bottom,
And on that note, I appreciate the use of the town hall. Because I've had, is that me? Oh, that's my key.
Yeah.
I've had 6 programs already this year.
Hmm.
And so I really, really appreciate having the town hall.
The
I,
lights are fixed over there now.
oh, excellent,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
The one that's out on the top?
I really
good.
don't
Yeah.
wanna, I don't really wanna think about an addition, and I'm less likely to wanna do that. Just because our programs are well attended. I mean, we had a little over fire capacity the other day. And an addition, I just don't know if an addition would cover it, so if you don't mind, I'd love to continue utilizing the town hall.
Yeah, I think that if it's available, certainly.
It seems
Yeah.
to work, and why
Yeah.
not?
Okay,
Rachel, I just sent you 3 pictures of the post at the bottom
Oh,
as a
thank you, Beth.
reminder. You can ask him about it, the
Thank you.
broken post.
and
Uh,
on that, my last note, before I forget about the town hall, is will you remind me of the cleaning person's name again?
Jen Chase.
Fabulous job. Fabulous. I used to have to bring my own paper products, and I am not. It's
That's good to hear.
amazingly
Yeah.
clean and very well taken care of.
Well, and
Yeah.
early, because I went in early the day after voting and it was spotless.
Already done.
Yeah, it was
Thank you
very
for
good.
getting all that stuff out there, but then she got in there,
Yeah.
so I can't say enough, and that really helps me because I used to have to clean it before I programmed and clean it again after, and now I don't, so I really appreciate her.
Okay, good.
Good. Always good to hear.
Yes, and appreciate it. Any
Yeah.
questions for,
None from me?
No, no thanks.
No?
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Alright,
you.
to trustees,
Good night.
thank you, good night.
Hello, my friend.
My favorite truck is still Liquor Ponies. No idea when I'm gonna get it.
Yep.
National Backorder for the
Really?
parts it needs. One of the internationals has to go to Manchester, antifreeze leak, engine oil leak, and the rear end locker is not working. So get that looked at. Little nudging from Ken, the new truck is ordered.
Good.
Roads are starting to thaw.
Yep.
We've had to stone the Pickard, New, Hackleboro, Cogswell, Cleft Pond, Asby, and Misery. They're holding up pretty well riding around today, it was good.
There have not been as many places so far where the mud is so deep you can't go
No.
through.
Yeah.
Hackleboro's looking much better than it has.
Pickard, when that let go,
Yeah.
that was a little tough, but, you know, they've been pretty good. No frozen culverts so far, which is a good thing. 3.5 tons of coal patch were put out, you mentioned coal patch earlier. Most on shaker, some on innovative.
Yeah.
We wanted to ship out paper, the place that was taking it rejected, they took pictures of the bales. Too much brown paper in the mixed paper bales
Interesting.
for them anyways, so they're looking for another place to ship.
Did they tell you they couldn't take too much brown paper beforehand?
David's running out of storage, so he's gonna start using the salt shed. He's gonna move the sand a little bit and he'll start using a bay there. The 25-mile-an-hour speed limit was put up on, Old Blois that you had authorized earlier and chevrons. And the bus stop signs down on Old Tilton that were asked for. I got a call from an engineering firm, they started to talk with the Athertons, wanting to know about the road, Atherton Road. And Nick starts school the 30th for driving, so that'll be good.
Very good.
Questions my way?
Yeah, on a very small level, Ken, when I came in and talked to you about the hole, the pothole on the corner of Kimball Pond, it was filled the next day, was that you or the state? That one pothole?
Must have been the state's.
That was the
Okay.
state.
Okay, well, they came right out and did it.
So is that pothole down by Pickard Road?
It's right yes, it's right on the inside corner, and when you shade over because some big truck's in your lane, it was a chuck hole. It's still not a perfect fill, but it's better than it was.
No, they're surprised it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah,
But they did come out and look at
they
it
did,
on the call.
they did. Otherwise, the roads are looking good, as the speed limits attest, they're nice and smooth. Thank you, I think.
Okay.
Alright, thank you, John.
Alright, thank you, John. Well, actually, I do have a question. So your favorite truck that's still down at Grapponi, what does it usually need to do that's not being done because the truck is still at Grapponi?
It doesn't have power steering and brake, it needs a new pump.
No, I mean, what's its job?
It's one of the F-550s, the
Oh,
smaller pickup, smaller dump trucks.
So it's not like we're missing a lot of equipment to take care of roads while it's sitting down there.
Well, it is, because they don't need a CDL to drive that, and that's what my two drivers don't have CDLs, so
Okay,
it's limiting,
got it.
very limiting.
Alright, well then,
We also ordered the waste oil burner today,
oh yeah,
and the
Water
water
sliding
tank,
tank.
sliding water.
Oh, yeah,
it was a busy Monday after town meeting.
Yeah, I'm sure
Alright.
it's the same all across the state.
Yeah,
The truck is at Fairfields, and it's something they have in stock. So the turnaround time is 90 days, you said,
He told us 90 days,
versus
we're hoping better.
versus a year if we ordered it from the ponies or someplace else and got the truck and chassis and
Yeah.
that way.
Right, yeah, very good.
and the old dump truck goes, what happens with that?
Pardon me?
Do we sell the old one?
We will, when we get the new one in, we will get rid of T1.
T1 or T2 or
Yeah.
something.
Is it worth it to give it
Whichever-
to the fire
whichever one
departments
is
to use that on the
Well,
highway
okay.
as a obstacle?
Well, it has to be able to get to the highway.
I know, that's true,
Yeah.
alright,
And we are starting to shop for Packer trucks too.
okay,
Good.
good. Alright,
And you had sent a letter out as far as the garbage.
Yes.
for-
yeah,
Canterbury Elementary contacted me
Oh, yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
The state will not allow the garbage truck to come up to empty their dumpster. They called District 3 last week and they said no, they couldn't. I called today, I got the same message. I did leave a voicemail for the district engineer.
Yeah.
And I sent an email to the state representative, Mike Moffett, today, asking him for assistance on this,
Yeah.
So why won't they let them,
cause the roads are posted for weight. So they won't let a garbage Casella come up.
So Casella won't go to the school, but they also won't come to us to empty the CD in the transfer station.
even on hardball with an exception, they won't?
So, like I said, I left a message for the district engineer and sent an email to state rep. For the school, what we told them was that we could drive on the way by, when we go to, Wind Waste, we'll stop and they can empty a couple garbage cans into our Packer truck for a short term. But
cause that'll be what we talked this morning about, maybe 3 weeks, will be long term.
yeah, I mean, it depends on the weather.
Yeah.
It's multiple trash cans a day.
But they haven't
Yep.
posted Shaker Road. They've posted Kimball Pond, Baptist and Center Road, but they haven't posted Shaker Road. And John told me tonight that there's a contractor working up at the end of Shaker Road. And he contacted the state and they said, you're all set.
Really?
So I'm not sure what's going on, and it's all District 3, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But
So if it's not posted, and the other roads are posted, and he's working on Shaker Road, and he dings up the road, but the road wasn't posted, is there any
the
recourse?
problem is, part of Shaker Road is in the town, is town maintained. So he's traveling across the state maintained and then onto the town maintained. And we had a problem last week when 5 concrete mixers showed up without letting us know. I asked the building inspector to talk to the contractor, to let him know that if they're gonna have trucks go up there, they needed to clear it with the road agent first. If not, we were gonna go after them, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all
The
about the
concrete
roads.
company didn't really seem to care, they said, send us a bill.
Oh, good.
Okay, so we could do that.
How big a bill
Well, it
will they
depends.
allow us to send them?
This is kind of depends on how this works out, so.
Oh, jeez,
we'll
okay
see what
then.
happens.
Well, thank you, that sounds like a little bit arm wrestling might happen, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
See
Thanks,
you,
John. Jeez,
Alright. Alright,
Yeah.
yes, I do. Thank you.
Is
I'll
is
go on.
Abington a maintained road, town road, or is that a class 6?
Pardon me?
Is Abington town maintained?
Yes,
Sorry, I got it.
yes,
Thank you.
it is town maintained.
What, to the second house?
Pardon me?
Where do they turn around, the second house? Like
I'm
right behind the
sure.
swamp?
Yeah, they go up around the corner.
Huh.
Yeah.
Alright, community power's not coming in for another about hour, so we got time, you wanna sign?
Sure.
Yeah, let's get that stuff out of the
Yeah.
way. Alright, first item. Looks like an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $82,528.55.
so moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Cal, I assume the L check needs a signature and that's it?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, that's part of the manifest, but
Is it? Okay,
he
thank you.
doesn't like to sign his own checks.
I don't blame him, I certainly get that. I would do the same thing, so. Anybody wanna look at Al's, that's mileage, I assume?
No, I just like to look at his handwriting.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's Al's, here's
Yep,
this. Yeah, it's
alright.
funny, it's, like, somebody's handwriting is so visceral and a lot of people don't have that now, everybody
Yeah,
types everything.
very true. Alright, next item is a payroll manifest in the amount of $65,307.22.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye. Oh, I didn't see how much the mileage was, it doesn't matter.
145 something, a check to Al for mileage.
It is 1:45 even.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Alright, next is an interfund transfer, to the conservation, committee fund in the amount of $18,253 even. And I don't think we need motions, right? We just sign this one or?
Yeah, you don't need, yeah.
Yeah,
That's land use change.
that, correct. And you'll see the
Yeah.
detail, yeah. you. Alright, next one is a welfare manifest, check for the amount of $1,575 even.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Cal, I assume that's that ongoing one?
That one is actually completed, that should be the last
Cool,
payment.
yep, okay. And honestly, these days for rent, it's pretty inexpensive, I mean,
Yeah,
That's 1 month?
yeah,
Yes.
1 month,
Yeah.
yeah,
we do have some other cases that are being processed.
yeah. Alright, thank you. Alright, next is an application for property tax credit or exemption. This looks like a veterans. Assuming I see a DD 214, so, alright. Let's see. Today is 16. Looks like I think just the 2 spots.
Yes,
Should be just two.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have to correct the one we did last time?
Good question.
Because Mandy pointed out that the percentage there might have been something wrong with the application.
if she needs anything signed by you guys, she just gives it to me.
Okay.
So I can make a note to check with her on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay,
although I saw her this morning, she didn't say anything.
okay,
so-
cause I saw her last week, and she said it might have been a hiccup with some of the payroll.
Gotcha.
Are you sure this isn't the case that needed redoing?
I
don't
I
know
wouldn't
if you
know, I
remember the
don't remember
names.
the name for the
Okay.
life of me.
Yeah.
I'll check with Penny.
That was Thursday.
Go. Alright, next is an appointment slip for Jessica Treadway as moderator for the next year.
Do we
So,
do we do moderator every year?
So that is an elected position,
Oh, okay, so she'll have to run next,
that's correct.
okay.
That's correct. She will be on the ballot next year.
Well, I hope she does, she did a good job.
she did a great job. Yeah, she
Really
really
good.
did.
Linear might be enough.
No, I think she's loving it.
Yeah,
as I
she
know.
really, for both first and second sessions, I thought that, excellent job.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
Alright, next is an appointment slip for Alice Todd for the Recreation Committee.
Randy's recommendations.
Yep.
Do I sign that one or no, does it matter? I know her pretty well.
It's a, I was gonna say, it's a volunteer position.
You can sign
I
it.
think that everybody here is comfortable
Well, no,
with
you,
signing
don't recuse, but do you recommend?
it.
She already does it, so.
Yeah, may as well make it official then.
Yes.
Thank you. Alright, next is Bob Steenson, or excuse me, Kelly Short for the Conservation Commission.
Yes.
Are those 3-year? Oh, no, those.
This is 3 years, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be 3 of them for
Yep.
conservation.
and I'm just gonna announce while we're signing Kelly's, Bob Steenson for a 3-year term for Conservation Commission.
Yes.
Thank you. Traja. And then the last one is Lance Messenger. 3-year term for Conservation Commission.
Yay.
Alright. Those,
If you need recommendations, I say yes to all.
It's gotta be like the easiest one to get people to stay on.
Yes and no,
now the ones that are there, I think, are very dedicated. We've really, that's another one of those boards or commissions, you got really long-term members. So, that tells you something, I think. Alright, updated fee schedule,
I could point out which ones changed.
please do,
So the site plan and design review
yep,
went from 50 to 100 because that's what the application actually said.
oh, okay,
So this is just correcting that.
do we don't have a
You
copy
don't
of that.
have a copy,
Oh,
there's one
okay.
copy and it has the stamp on it that I need you guys to sign.
So I can't write on it, I promise.
No, you can,
Okay.
don't.
please do,
Yeah.
right,
I put the green
Sit on
pen
it.
away,
Just sign on the
Just-
dotted line.
alright,
oh, just signing, okay,
And
that's,
the recording fee with Merrimack County is updated because they upped their fees, so we upped our fees to cover that. And then the zoning board of adjustment fees were changed to match what was actually on the application.
oh, okay, so,
That was a
always
mistake.
helpful.
And
Yep.
actually, I don't need this, so if you wanna just give this to Beth.
Oh, so I can write on it?
well,
Oh,
it's
this is already
actually-
written
yeah, I
up,
was gonna say, it's
Perfect.
pre-marked up, so,
thank you.
last page is the space for signature.
So in a few years, Beth, you can bring that to be shredded too.
Yeah,
With all your other,
That's it,
before
all the other
you.
stuff.
it's gotta be 45 pounds of stuff.
That's not confidential, so you can just recycle it.
Yeah, there you go.
Fire
This one? Oh,
Right,
Yeah, the fee schedule certainly is public,
Right.
so,
no, the other stuff is, you want shredded, I think.
alright, next item is, it looks like from us to the trustees of the trust funds, and it's concerning the warrant article that passed at second session. And it's requesting them to create a Sam Lake House expendable trust fund and to transfer all money that was previously in the Sam Lake House Capital Reserve Fund from the general fund to the new Sam Lake House ETF. Do we need to sign, Ken, or is this, oh yeah, we do,
And this is all now correct and everybody knows
well, it's,
should be,
Right.
all stories, okay,
yes,
good,
yes, everybody should be.
on the same page.
at least for now.
And our signatures go on the page, so,
Right. As always, subject to change, I suppose, but
no change,
I know, that's,
it's good,
yeah.
it's good.
Thank you, alright. That's to you. Alright, I think we're at previous minutes approval from the March 2nd meeting.
I got two minor notes. One was on line 95 specified that the tree you guys weren't getting is the Liberty tree.
Okay, yeah,
And then the other one was.
Did I send that to you or did I just think it loudly at you?
Ken sent me.
I thought it too, and as soon as you said it, I went, I didn't put that in, alright, thank you.
Beth, your question about if the tree stumping is coming from the.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct, so that event, part of the minutes is correct.
Okay.
And then the other change is just adding that Niccolo Anastasi is the Meridian representative.
Yeah.
Just clarifying, so two minor
Yeah.
changes.
anybody have anything else, Calvin, nothing, Beth?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended.
I'll second that,
All those in favor?
aye. Our minutes just keep getting better.
I would agree. Alright, select board representative reports and determine representatives for this year.
Okay. I'll do with my report.
I've got a fairly lengthy one from planning.
I got nothing, cause mine are still hibernating.
I thought that as I was writing mine up,
That's really,
Tomorrow, we meet tomorrow.
but. Alright, so while you're looking, Beth, I'll start then.
okay,
So, the planning board, approved with conditions a subdivision for map 228 lot 11 at 150 Nasby Road. And I just wanted to note publicly that the applicant expressed appreciation to Michelle Hammond for her assistance and just sung her praises.
Oh, good.
And things like that, I think we definitely want to publicize, so Michelle, thank you. Second item, planning board reviewed the conditions of approval for the Hildreth Farm project on West Road. They approved a 3-lot subdivision for map 213, lot 11 on Baptist Hill Road. They worked on what are now the approved zoning amendments in preparation for first session voting. And that's all I've got from planning. The Tricentennial Committee, as Beth is modeling, Tricentennial Ware has been sold. There will be further sales which we'll be announcing. That's all I can think of. Can you think of, I know there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and our meeting is Thursday,
Yeah,
so
right,
we'll
this-
we would
yeah.
have more after
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
All I know is the committees continue to meet and work on projects like the quilters and
Yep, exactly,
Things are-
there's a lot of,
the movie and.
yeah, a lot of things in the works, I guess I'll say.
Can I ask a question about Tricentennial?
Sure.
How come they haven't asked for funds from the town
It's an
for
excellent
the
question.
celebration next year? Cause I know they're trying to raise money and that seems to be the
Correct.
the crutch, but
I-
they,
I'm not sure I have an answer for you, except that the thinking was, I think, that they were gonna be able to raise enough that they didn't need to ask.
okay,
That's the sense that I get, and
I just don't wanna, I'd hate for us to get caught blindsided in
Yeah.
November, December and not
Right.
anticipate maybe the ask.
well,
I would hope by November, December,
Yeah.
that they will know enough to get something in the
Yeah.
budget so they could get some money at the beginning of the tricentennial year.
Right.
I figured they would have asked this year.
Well, I think they're still waiting for a lot of people to fill out their worksheets and say, this is the event we want, this is
Okay.
how much it's going to cost, this is how much we're going to need, and a lot of people just haven't done that.
I would just
Either
hate
they're
to
throwing
see-
their own money in the
Yeah.
pot or
Yeah.
whatever.
It just seems like it's highly anticipated and you guys are very excited, I would just hate to not have the funds to
agreed.
Yes,
accomplish it.
Several of the things, the plates are a fundraiser, shirts and sweatshirts are fundraisers. Challenge coins, if we order them, we haven't done that yet, are fundraisers. I think that's, I hope anyway, gonna give them enough seed money to get things, going for 2027.
I mean, they had a lot of plans to sell things, like last year, but I think it was just too early.
Yeah.
So now that
Yeah.
it's closer,
Tricentennial Eve.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, that's all I have.
okay, well, I would say, and something about community power, except Beth McGuinn's going to come in and talk to us,
With
and
Edgar,
Edgar.
yeah.
So that'll be the biggest thing I would think, other than what they're going to talk about, is that there is a listening session
Yep, I put it in
planned
my calendar.
for April 7th. Is it the 7th,
It is.
Edgar?
Yep,
Better write it in.
7 PM
Yeah.
at Town Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the last meeting, we spent a lot of time planning for that. And a lot talking about what we're gonna talk about here, so I won't
Yeah.
repeat that.
Okay.
Conservation Commission, they did a lot of recapping, talked about the warrant articles. They're going to consider whether or not they wanna weigh in on how the wetlands article actually ended up to be, because I think they wanted to say more about vernal pools. It's good for now, but
Yeah.
they'll revisit that at some point. They still have a number of conservation outreach projects that they're working on. We talked about the New Hampshire Fish and Game Wildlife Action Plan update, which is very exciting.
Cool.
They're tracking turtles, which is very nice.
I saw something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they just continue, there's work days planned,
Yeah,
there's, they're talking about who's going to be the next chair, because Ken's term is up. And he can't, he's been like 3 times in a row and he can't do it again. So next time will be the voting for that.
Yeah.
We had an update on the new representative to Umralak. which that seems to be going along, and so, you know, they just continue to chug through their agenda and get things done.
Good.
So that's
What we need.
That's good. The energy committee, a lot of talk about recruitment. Still trying to look for new members, several people who were approached have declined. We did, talk about the button-up event that was held here, that was successful. Chatted more about what might be wanted and what they hope to get from the municipal center audit. And I don't think the municipal complex, energy audit, and I don't think I talked to you when we talked this morning, Ken, about, I don't know if when they do the municipal center, if they can do this building too, like do a blower door test on here and see, and I don't know, this and the furnace and the heat, I mean, this just, for such a small building, it seems to,
Can check, I did get an email from the company today,
oh, okay,
it was the first communication I had from them. And they're gonna be sending me some dates.
okay,
They haven't given me a cost estimate, which I don't know if there's gonna be a cost to it or not. Because the last company said that if we wanted a technical audit, which that's what their terminology was, there would be a cost associated with it.
right.
I don't know if there's gonna be one with this company or not, I have to check.
Well, I would assume that a technical audit, I mean, if it's not a technical audit, what is it? How do you use it?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what we want.
That's, yeah, and I think we sent a pretty comprehensive list of what the goals were.
Yeah,
So I'll double check with that, but.
I mean, this building, I can, you know, I was thinking about it this morning, it's just, you know, we've got this thing going, the furnace is around the corner, you know, it would almost need to be a little moving of things around to make this building work, which I don't know if it's worth it or not, but again,
Blower door test?
no, not just in general to make this work more efficiently, but I'm not the energy expert, so anyway. I think we were just trying to see if maybe this building could be included, since we started to look at the lights, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
Right.
And there is going to be a battery storage workshop that both Beth McGuinn and I are going to, just to see, and part of it is talking about municipal battery storage for like our big solar arrays. So see what they've have to say, good, bad, or indifferent about that. And that's pretty much for that. That's all I got.
Okay,
HDC meets for the first time since October
I
tomorrow.
saw that actually.
Yay!
Red committee won't meet probably until May
Yep,
to get ready for soccer. And school board, they've got their first meeting next week since the election, they'll elect new positions and then they'll get into the CBA in June.
yeah,
So in terms of town related things with the school, it's pretty much just been budget the last 2 months.
Yeah.
But I think we should definitely pay attention to the CBA as it comes down. And also, grants. I think we need to be a little bit more, I don't wanna say proactive, but we should try to work more hand in hand with the district so we can be apprised of what's going on. I think with funding going up, we should try to take advantage of some of the grants. And I know Kate, obviously they're grant writers, so they're definitely pursuing a lot more grants with the schools.
Yeah.
So it might be advantageous to us just to kinda keep our thumb on it and see what funding opportunities we can pursue, similar to what Superintendent Tercey brought in.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
other than that, it's been pretty slow for the schools.
yeah. Alright,
Right?
alright, actually, so that brings us to determine representatives for this year. I need to give up planning. It is just too much to be the chair and go to the planning board meetings and read everything I need to read, so, I'll offer to you first. But I will tell you that it's a time commitment, and it isn't
Oh, I
the
would think
meetings,
so, yeah.
it's the prep for the meetings,
Right.
and I know you've got a pretty full plate.
I wouldn't wanna give up conservation, but I don't have a lot to, that's not a hard pull.
Yeah.
It is hard for CCPC and energy not so much, but at the moment I'm acting as kind of chair and secretary for CCP,
Yeah.
which has got to change.
So Calvin's committees, a lot of them are irregular meetings or seasonal.
Yeah.
So,
Transient.
yeah,
So could you take on, planning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to do whatever you guys see, I'm really pretty flexible with whatever.
yeah, that would be a
If
big
you want
help, I think.
planning, you've obviously been here longer, I have no problem doing planning if That's
I
what it
think
is.
I intend to still continue to go to the planning, I like to know what's going on, but I think. What happens if we get partway through and decide, like you decide it's too much and I decide I wanna do it, can we switch halfway
Yes.
through?
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah, it's just notifying,
Yeah.
notifying the planning board.
it just has to be done through the planning board,
Yeah,
right,
because you're an ex officio member.
Right, right,
So
right.
it gives you voting privileges.
right,
yeah,
I'm content to stay with the committees I have, I will do it if you don't want to, but I'm content with the
No, I
way it
mean-
is,
I'll do it, cause I get, like Scott said, my meetings are so irregular,
okay,
it's like HTC seems to be seasonal, whenever the projects are at Shaker is when they have the meetings, and
exactly.
Ag, I think, only meets twice a year.
well, and I wouldn't doubt that your experience on the zoning board would help you with,
Yeah, I mean,
Planning,
and
so.
truthfully, like, I think we could do some good things with zoning and planning, maybe we could finally try to get them to meet twice a year. It'd be nice if they could start meeting over the new ordinances that passed and, see how planning wanted them implemented or how they derived their ordinances, so that way when they do come down the line, maybe they can view them the way they were intended to be viewed.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, meetings in the past have not gone smoothly, so,
Yeah, and I think in terms of leadership on both boards, it would be a good time to finally
Yeah.
not blend the boards, but bring them back in.
Yeah.
We've had a period where they've been over here. I think with the goings on in towns, it would be advantageous for us to kind of get them back in the
yeah, like you said, at least,
hallway.
yeah.
a couple
Yeah,
times
no, I
a
would
year.
agree.
Yeah.
If you're willing to at least start it and see how it goes, that would be great.
Okay,
And if for some reason it's not a good fit, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be a problem, but if it is,
Okay.
yeah, alright, and so I think I heard you say that you didn't weren't interested in switching out of anything else.
I'll be happy to, CCPC and energy
Yeah.
kind of work together, so
Yeah.
that's a good group,
Makes
and I
sense.
really like conservation.
Perfect,
I like working with them and.
yeah, Calvin, same for you,
Yep.
except now you're gonna take on planning.
Yep.
Okay, Cal, you got that? Cool, alright. And I'll keep tricentennial as the selectmen's rep. Unless you.
Nope.
Just wanna give you the chance,
Thank you,
welcome.
thank you, I'm good.
Alright. Alright, I think that's it for committees and reps. Alright, I think we're on to new business, right? Alright, conflict of interest policy. You had emailed out, kind of a
And boilerplate.
sample, I'll
Yes.
call it, which I looked at, I think that, as I looked at our audit this year, that is literally the only item that we didn't have that's suggested, so. What I'd like to see us do, at some point soon, is, finalize a conflict of interest, so. I think at least for tonight, it seems like there's agreement that we wanna move forward with this. And what I'm thinking is that, we all take some time and sort of, look at the stuff that Ken sent and then decide on a policy. I think this is gonna be an easier lift.
Is there more than this sample ordinance that what else is there for
No,
us?
That was, yeah,
I was surprised that it was so minimalist.
I think.
I mean, it covers
honestly,
everything, but
I've
it's
seen,
just a page and all.
I did get a couple others, that are a little more lengthy, but looking at those and then looking at this one seemed to encompass
Yeah,
pretty much everything that the others did, just not as long, just
Yeah.
not as lengthy.
So Fremont, that's the
complicated,
one,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
but I also think that, if you think about the, code of conduct and that, that's a much lengthier document that took us a while, obviously. So I think this will be a
Oh, I did have one question though when I looked at it.
Yep.
On exemptions. So if you're if you're interested in not having any conflict of interest, why would you have this not apply to election contributions? Especially if you had somebody who was running for something, I mean,
Yeah,
we don't have, for public office, it just didn't seem to apply to us, or if we were running for office and somebody was giving us money to vote a certain way because they wanted to develop something in town,
right,
it seems like either it shouldn't be in there or it shouldn't be exempt, somehow it didn't fit, but that's the only thing that caught my eye, really. So, if we can think about that a
Yeah,
little bit more,
yeah,
that's it.
we can put it on the agenda, I think, for the next meeting. That'll give us a couple weeks to.
If you have edits that you want, you
Yeah.
can send them to me and
There
then I
you
can
go.
make a
Oh,
draft,
okay.
just like we did
Yeah, with
the
the,
last
yeah,
one.
yeah, okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Alright, why don't we move on from that? Alright, Cal, I think this is probably you, I did read the email, 2025 owed overtime and 2026 pay rates.
So in your new business
Yep.
folder, you've got a few pieces of paper.
Yep,
Let's start with the 2025, nope, that's the,
okay, this one,
nope,
the last one,
last one.
okay,
So the email that I sent you was
Yep.
about the overtime and FLSA, and you guys didn't need to understand the full thing, that was for the
Right.
department heads, but that is the context for why I found out that we had some overtime that we should have been paying overtime rates for, but we were
Yeah.
paying regular rates for. So this is a list of all the people who had an overtime, who worked hours that should have been considered overtime, but were paid their regular rate, and
Yeah.
the amount in the far column is how much extra they should have been paid.
Yeah.
So,
I guess my only question is, I did read the email.
Yeah.
Looked at this, you know, you were nice enough to attach it. We have a couple people who are clearly part-timers, and I'm just wondering how they accrued overtime.
so part-timers do get to have overtime, anybody who works over 40 hours in a week, so the part-timers on there, like Bowden last year,
Yep,
he was like, give me all the hours you got, because he wanted to earn as much as he could over the summertime.
understood,
So
yeah,
John had him working like 60-hour weeks, so
alright,
um
stop right there. Doesn't that put us in trouble with federal government with,
Only on overtime.
okay,
If seasonal employees,
yep,
can work extended hours
yep,
without being eligible for benefits.
okay,
yes.
alright.
What
How
he
about
said.
the other two part-timers though? One in the fire department, one in highway.
It's the same thing, and I've been monitoring everybody's hours to
Yeah.
make sure that the averages are below the need for benefits.
You're looking at the 4-week and 5-week periods,
I'm averaging across the year, so
Okay.
every single week whenever I do payroll, I
Yeah.
write down the number of hours all the part-timers worked
Yeah.
in that week, so that I can tell if they're staying, so like for Herb Batchelder,
yeah,
initially last year, Chief Gamache was scheduling him for too many hours, and
Yeah.
so I told him, and he reduced it,
gotcha.
and so he fixed it
So
before
that's
it
the why
became an
we all
issue.
have, and same with Roy,
Yes.
okay, which clearly isn't.
Yeah. And it's very occasional.
Yeah.
All of the people on that list.
Yeah, but I mean, the full-timers,
Yes.
that's perfectly understandable, especially, you know,
And it was the understanding before I did this work that part-timers didn't need, or not in all cases or something, so it's just, we've changed the understanding, all the department heads are on the same page.
yeah,
So everybody going forward is gonna be doing it correctly, and this
Very
is
good.
just
okay,
correcting the little bits that we found that needed.
okay, yeah.
And how is it that Rachel shows up on this list?
The one that I emailed you, I put everybody, but the one that you're gonna sign right now has the library people taken out.
Okay.
I gave Rachel
Oh,
for the
got it.
library trustees to sign tonight, their version of
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And their version of the next thing that you're signing.
Okay,
Thanks,
alright,
that answers that.
alright, I'm gonna sign this then and I'll just pass it down for. This one, no, next document or the other?
It's both.
Okay, alright,
So the next document is the sheet you get every year with the new pay rates for
Yeah.
everybody. I printed out two different copies because I wasn't sure which plan you were going with for the PD, whether you were
Gotcha.
doing the proposed wages or if you were doing the COLA plus bonuses, so I printed out both.
okay, so
That way you
we,
could just decide.
yeah, so my understanding from town meeting is it's the original
Proposal. for
proposed
these-
pay rates, right? So not the COLA for them, for the PD. Right, so it should work out,
The budget that you approved works for either, like it's the same.
Yeah, it was either
We didn't-
memorializing the wages or giving it as a bonus.
okay,
That was, right, am I right, Cal?
Yeah.
but I thought we agreed to memorialize the wages, not do bonuses.
I think,
I
I think
believe
at the
that too.
last meeting, that's
Yeah.
what you guys
Yeah, that's,
did agree.
that's my memory,
You know,
yeah.
Calvin did not agree, but
Okay.
you guys did.
Right, right.
I just wanted to make sure that I had the right thing signed.
Right,
I mean, we went back and forth a couple of times,
We
so
did.
now it's hard to, because the bonuses, I didn't know if we had an issue with, the tax implications of doing it that way versus,
I think the pushback was, in speaking with the chief, they didn't like
They didn't
bonuses
wanna wait
because
for-
they-
yeah.
No, because they had gotten in the past and they had forgotten to get. There was issues in the past with bonuses structured like that, so they'd rather see it
right,
as a wage increase versus a bonus.
Yep.
well, also then if it's a bonus, you don't know if you're gonna get that next year, so if the wage increases,
That was what the chief was
Yeah.
concerned about, was the
waiting around to
the
see.
retention of someone getting a bonus versus a actual wage increase.
Right. So, yes, that's what I believe we came down on.
yeah,
And I preferred the bonus until we figured out the meetings and the structure and the future of the police.
right,
Because I wasn't against the money of it, it was just how we structured and gave it to them until the cloud of uncertainty had resolved itself.
right, so we're only signing one document tonight.
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, and you know the thing we didn't, oh, we'll wait till we finish with this.
Okay, yeah, alright, there's that,
Where did the other thing go?
it's right here,
Oh, no, that one,
Oh, this one right here.
yeah,
thank you. Just making sure.
no, I'm glad you're keeping track. Alright, and so we don't need this, I'll give it back to you.
Correct.
Yep, that one's recycling.
Alright. Alright, new business, I guess, I'm at the end of what's on the.
So I have, I have a couple things, one is the Aries, engineering. This, 2 years ago, we were required by New Hampshire DES to file a post-closure report for the transfer station. I filled it out, it was accepted, I did the same thing this year, and it was rejected because it needs an engineer's stamp.
Oh, okay,
So I sent it to Aries, there's a cost associated with that.
of course,
So Aries sent us a proposal, for this coming year to do that, as well as the regular annual landfill summary report.
yeah,
And the total cost is $2,300. So, there's a place in here for one signature, so Scott, if you wanna sign this, then.
any
that's-
discussion?
Is that amount that we, is that unexpected,
It is unexpected,
so where does that come out?
so we will have to, but we'll have to find that money somewhere.
Okay.
It usually, it won't be a problem because Aries does the, inspection in November. The report isn't due until March 31st of the following year. They typically don't bill us until, we probably won't get billed for this until 2027. So we will make sure the 27 budget includes this number, so we're all set.
So we're in effect paying in arrears for the report on the year before?
That's typically how it works.
Oh,
They,
okay.
they do their inspection and the report in November, but it doesn't get submitted until after the first of the year,
Okay.
and then they invoice us after they submit it.
Well, that works for
Anybody wanna
us.
look at these documents?
Yes, please.
We don't need any more signatures,
No.
but certainly.
Jeez, I'm not sure I wanna look at this. Oh, jeez, okay. And where does their stamp show up?
That's just
Well,
the
that's
agreement.
Yeah.
That's just the,
That's
oh,
the
okay,
agreement.
Okay.
They've already submitted the post-closure report.
got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright,
I do have one more thing for new business, I guess it kinda goes along with community power. But I did get an email from, I got a phone call and an email from Neighborhood Energy out of Thornton, New Hampshire. They are a third-party supplier of energy. He would like a copy of our utility bills. We talked about community power and the cost of community power. And they feel that they can get our supply rates down around 10 cents a kilowatt, versus the 14 that community power is charging. I told him I would talk to you guys and forward him our utility bills, just so we could see.
Yep.
I said, we're on community power, I think the town is invested in, this is just for town buildings.
Yep.
But I told him that I would,
This
Copy.
proposal from Neighborhood Energy is just for the town?
just for the town
Okay.
buildings, correct. So,
Interesting,
I'll send him our utility bills and
Yep.
get a cost per kilowatt. But I just wanted to keep you guys.
Yeah.
posted on that.
thank you.
well, I'm sure Community Power would be very interested in looking their proposal over.
We had a third party supplier for many years. And then when community power came along, we switched over.
Yep.
It was. We saved like 2 cents a kilowatt. Versus a third party, but I had talked to the board back when community power became a thing in here and the board wanted to go ahead and switch, so we did.
Alright, I think,
Well, we'll see how that plays out, because it kinda, sounds like it'd be a little awkward to have to, move the town buildings off and then leave the town in the, but to be determined.
yeah. I mean, any resident can right
Yes.
now, switch out of community power.
Yeah. Yes?
Alright, that's all, I believe, for new business. Anybody have any new business?
The only new business I have is that I was going through the pile of things to file in my office, and I came across something that had just caught my eye last year about in the trust funds, the perpetual care fund for the cemetery. There is a substantial amount of money in that trust. It is designated for perpetual care of certain plots where the people have paid for such care. But apparently there is a way that you have to do a lot of calculation, you have to do a lot of measuring, and you have to do a lot of math so that some of that money, like you take a certain percentage of how many plots in the cemetery are actually perpetual care plots, and then you can take that amount of money from here to use. And while you're like getting to those plots to take care of them perpetually, you happen to be maintaining the rest of the cemetery as well. You can't do it, you can't just like blanket take the cost of what it takes to maintain the cemetery. And you do have to figure out, okay, how many hours is somebody mowing at the cemetery, how much gas is being used, yada yada. But the NHMA does have a workshop that covers that. And just to see if there's a way, I mean, if we could realize, I don't know, even $1,000 towards maintaining the two big cemeteries in town, you think of how much time, if nothing else, somebody's mowing them. It might be worth investigating, but I don't know if we need to, as a board, suggest to the cemetery trustees that they go to that seminar and see if it's what it
Right.
involves.
Who are the trustees? John Goble?
John Gogol, Jan, Cody, and
Sam.
Sam.
Sam, okay.
So it seems like there's a lot of money sitting there that's not being used. And if we could use some portion of it, I mean, we're looking at every budget line for a couple of bucks, and this, it will take some work on their part, which they may or may not be willing to do, but I think it would be good if they saw what the work was, and if it was worth it.
So that particular fund is controlled by the cemetery trustees, not
The trustee of trust
Trustee of the
funds,
trust fund.
It is, okay.
it is. It is a non-expendable trust for perpetual care. And there's, I mean, this was back in that's what's
Yeah,
sitting in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is. Yeah, so it seems,
but I guess, without going too deeply into it, how do we expend funds from a non-expendable trust?
It's the interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
so there's, yeah,
Some of those funds be used to offset the wage line?
I think it'd be wage and equipment, right? It could be used for whatever it takes to maintain.
But I guess how does that money get transferred? Cause it would go to highway, I assume, since they
Well, it would be an
maintain that.
offset to highway.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, but it can't, I guess,
I mean,
can
so
the
the
interest
interest
amount
was
to that
still,
much
you know,
in even a year?
Yeah, that's,
How much that
those are laws on
Yeah.
You'd have to,
yeah,
Yeah,
have to look and see
Yeah.
what they earn a year in interest.
Yeah.
that adds up.
Let's see.
so I think.
it's worth looking at, you know,
Yeah, it's one of the NHMA municipal training, what was it, hybrid workshops that
Okay.
had what, cemetery, library, and what was the third?
Trustee of the trust fund.
Trustee of
Okay.
trust funds.
yeah,
So, I think they have one coming up in June. I did ask NHMA, cause I couldn't find the schedule on the website, they
Yeah.
responded to me and still didn't tell me when it is, but I believe
Okay.
it's in June. I can find out, but I don't know, again, I don't know, we can't make them go, but I think it sounds like it would be a good suggestion to come from the board more officially,
yeah,
to say, could you check this out, because,
but I guess, would it be the trustees of the trust fund we should be reaching out to? I guess that's not the cemetery, right?
So it's a hybrid class, so all three groups could go.
yeah,
Yeah, but ultimately, who controls that money, I guess is where I'm getting
It's the
to.
trustees of the trust fund that
Right.
control the money,
Yeah,
although I think it has to be approved, and I'm not sure. I
yeah,
think it would have to be approved by the cemetery trustees.
Yeah.
that's why you go to the workshop.
I know, that's,
Well, the other thing is that a lot of the legwork, I believe, would have to be done by the cemetery trustees,
Right.
as far as mapping, planning.
They'd have to
Yeah.
work with the road agent to determine hours.
And I don't know how many of our historic lands, cemeteries, because they get mowed, like the one down on the bottom of Center Road that just got all fixed and everything, or Shell Meeting House, or
right,
any of those, again, if it would help offset the,
Although I think the cemetery trustees would have to look at each lot, each plot to
Right.
determine if that plot was included in the perpetual
Right.
care fund.
yeah.
right,
Cause I think a
So-
lot of the cemeteries in town, like Kathy and I have cared for the Pickard Road ones
Yeah.
for years,
yeah,
probably 10 years. And obviously aren't charging anybody, I
I would assume most of the perpetual care ones are in the bigger main one, or,
I don't know, actually.
I don't know.
It would depend on the records
Yeah.
on what was, if there was a plot that was sold in one of those cemeteries that was dedicated towards perpetual care,
Yeah.
if they took money for that, for perpetual care, then it would be eligible.
Yeah,
Well, it seems, for no other reason, if people gave money for perpetual care, they should be getting some perpetual, some
Good point.
perpetual care.
absolutely.
But,
Yeah, I think they are, it's just the town is
Yeah.
providing it
Yeah.
out of tax dollars, for
Yeah.
everything, and volunteer help,
right,
Yeah,
so it seems, if I can get a date for that particular
Yeah.
workshop, and if
Sounds
we all
interesting.
agree, I mean, how do we communicate that? We send a letter to them, or do we email them and just sign on and say,
invite them to a selectmen's meeting, I don't know, it's up to you.
okay,
You can,
I'll get a date.
yeah, why don't we do that, that might be a good way to, he's invited to a selectmen's meeting, tell him,
Yeah,
kind of give him the particulars and,
well, then it's a record, and we
Yeah.
have the discussion, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
okay.
In April before the grass grades up.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
I think that part's up to NHMA though.
Well, they can come here before that.
Right.
Yeah, cause that would give them enough time to sign that forward,
Yeah.
just look into it.
Alright, I don't see Beth yet. Got a couple
6:30.
minutes. Yeah.
Hey, Fred.
6:40.
Oh.
It's Beth.
Right, you were at, old business,
Sign policy.
thank you.
Yeah,
I was saying, cause Randy texted me, the Friends of the Center
Yeah.
are applying for a sign, and they wanted to know what the updated policy was if we ever updated it.
I'm so glad you brought that up, that's in the stack of stuff I didn't bother you with this morning.
Yeah, so I.
Alright, so why don't we need to get back on track with that clearly.
Budget season.
Did I send you,
Right.
did I send you all the pictures that I took?
Yeah, back in November,
Do you want them
Yeah.
back again?
yeah, cause it's probably buried in my
Right.
mail somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alright, I will
think
send-
yes.
I will send that all
And then
again, and,
Cal, don't we have like proposed verbiage, didn't we, for
I think we had the whole thing done, except then you guys met out on
we
the
did,
thing, and
Yeah.
then you wanted to talk about having like a town managed
Yeah.
sign, and so I didn't rewrite
and I think that's where we left it.
Yeah.
that's where we left
if
the
you-
discussion, but I've had a lot more thoughts on it.
So I can't remember, did you agree on you want the town managed sign, or
I don't
No.
think
We did not agree.
that's where you left it, okay.
We left it
So,
looking at what
how
it could be.
about- How about, Beth, you send out the pictures again,
Yes.
I'll send out the latest
Yeah.
draft again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and put it on the agenda, and you guys can discuss
Right,
at the next
and
meeting.
if I remember the discussion, my concern is if it's a town managed site, let's call it, who in the town is gonna have time to manage it,
agreed,
so,
that's, yeah.
yeah.
But, and the other thing is I've heard, right after we were talking about it, I was heard, you hardly hear from anybody, but I heard from a couple of people, they like the low handmade signs, maybe not the
Mm.
plastic ones,
Right,
but the handmade painted ones are fun, they
yeah,
give the town charm, and they're,
yeah,
reflect the personality of the event. And they really liked to see those more than a billboardy
right, so,
thing.
I think really it just came down to where we wanted the signs to be on the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. And I think,
and how many?
from our meeting there, clearly we don't want them in front of the memorial.
Mhm.
But I think other than that, the low signs wouldn't present a traffic hazard. So I don't see that as a factor. Alright, so why don't we get that material back out and then we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
And this is particularly center, we're not dealing
Center, we're
just
not
this,
dealing with anything else.
well, center and historic district, cause that's basically,
Who did
Or
the
no.
posts over by Clough Pond and Baptist Hill?
they did.
They didn't?
They did.
When we complained
Yeah.
about the sign, the
Correct.
the
'Cause
state of the
that- right,
sign,
that- yeah,
they did
that's
that the next
Town
like, day.
property and,
I never
That
saw
got
them,
taken care
I
of.
just drove by one day and I was
Yeah,
like,
oh,
yeah, they look nice.
They do.
And they really do. Hey,
okay,
Beth.
hello, so yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send out those
And
pictures.
so I think we should confine it to center,
Yeah,
because historic district would also include Shaker,
right.
the village, and
yes,
let's not,
everything you can see from the gazebo, how about that?
there you go.
Can we define the center as
Right.
that? Make it an official
You could
designation.
just do the center historic district, 'cause they are
There you
two
go.
separate.
Yeah, they are.
Let's do it that way.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there we go, that's easy.
Yeah, cause we certainly don't want cheesy signs, just outside the center. Somebody will get us on a loophole.
They always do.
You can have a sign with cheese on it, you know that.
Right.
Okay, so send sign.
Right, yeah,
Okay,
alright. Anything more on that? Otherwise, Beth's here.
thank you for bringing that up.
Edgar's here, Fred's here, so, if you guys wanna come down or stay where you are, it's up to you guys. Wherever you're comfortable.
You can see better from here. Sorry that I asked for the later time frame.
That's all
But
right.
perfect timing, thank you, Edgar.
I'm not drooling too bad at this
So
point.
thanks, Edgar. Thank you. So thank you for coming. I know that you guys have seen by now the articles in newspapers that communities are dropping out of community power. And some of them, we've had Bow drop out. I understand Portsmouth is looking at dropping out and Dover is selectively dropping out. My concern is, when we signed on for community power, it was with the promise of lower rates. And those lower rates have just not materialized. And I didn't know until I read the article in Seacoast Online that community power had lost $8 million last year through some bad decisions, it sounds like. And now we're trying to make it up. It sounds like make it up with a little more on top of that, so, and I'm only gonna speak for me, I won't speak for the other board members, I'll certainly let them do that. One thing I always try to remember as I sit here is this town is filled with people on fixed incomes. And for me, the promise of community power has not materialized. People are paying, people that have stuck with community power, myself included, are now paying more for our electricity than if we had stuck with our original supplier.
So, a couple things to start. Number one, have you ever been quoted in the newspaper? And was it right?
Oh my God, no.
Okay,
So as recently as second session of town meeting,
Yeah,
they
there you
quoted
go.
me and it was
There you go.
absolutely wrong. So yes,
so what has been reported is a little blown out of proportion.
Okay.
And a little, what do you call it?
Sensationalized.
Sensationalized, thank you.
sells
A little
newspapers.
sensational,
Yeah.
Yeah, that word.
Bo is pulling out, not of community power, but out of the Merrimack County Community Power. So Merrimack County actually has community power. They did it after we did, we're in Merrimack County.
Yeah, we were early on.
Yeah, so it's a little different for them to pull out, than it is for us to pull out. There's and from what I understand in Bo, the change that happened is that there was a new select board elected, and they had a bent against community power.
Okay,
Certainly, I mean, the committee is very aware of the fact that this is the case. And that's why we set a listening session. Because we wanna hear from people what they are thinking. There is another town that has pulled out or is in the process of pulling out, and that's Hudson.
okay,
Hudson likewise had a select board member who got, whether it was got on the board because they didn't like community power or what, but that was how that happened.
yeah. And Wilmot, I believe, pulled out as well.
Excuse me, Wilma was one of the
I
other
did
ones.
hear that on the
Yeah.
web, I have talked with community power and Wilma would have been in for Merrimack County also,
Okay.
sort of the same as Bo.
Yeah.
So it's not a member of the community power coalition. In other words, they don't have a representative
I
at
understand.
community
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
hearing what is happening. $8 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
When you're a utility serving 200,000 customers, 200,000. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of customers. $8 million is still a lot of money, but in the budget, it's a smaller amount of money. The time frame that happened in was when CPC&H, rates were very high when we did this. They were like 24, 26 cents. One of the reasons they're now 12 or 14 cents is because there's competition now. There was no real competition because the only way somebody else could compete was to get people to change to a third-party supplier, which anybody can do at any time, but the nature of people is that they don't do that. So there weren't a lot of people who were on a third-party supplier. Community Power came in, and actually what happened is the utilities underpriced themselves. And because CPC&H didn't have a track record of how much it cost to do this work, they were going for the same thing that they promised, we'll be under. So they were pricing under the utilities. And that's what caused that $8 million loss. We've had another loss just now, and that's, I talked with Beth about this, that's because there's a new charge by the New England Grid Operator, ISO, OSI, ISO. That the ISO said was gonna be about $2 per megawatt. Wound up being $43 per megawatt. CPC&H's rates this time were charged on something more than $2 because they didn't really believe it was gonna be $2, but the utilities undercut what CPC&H is, so that's a little piece of why our rates are higher. Stuff is really complicated. The reality of what we have now is Canterbury has elected community power. Anybody can opt out of community power right now. If we were to leave community power, there would be no opportunity for any individual to go on community power. So part of that is limiting choice. The other part is the rate setting issue and being lower than the utilities was a big sales point. But it was not the only sales point. The other sales point was local control. Voice at the PUC, which you only get if you are a supplier, and CPC&H is a supplier. And the opportunity in the future to have monies set aside by the town and set aside by CPC&H to be available for town expenses. Does that all equal up to the value of 2 cents per kilowatt? I know that's a lot, and the committee is really aware of the fact that we have one person, and that's Edgar, who is on CPC&H. None of the rest of us can be.
Right, 'cause you're
Fred's
solar.
not even,
Yeah.
Fred's not even hooked up to the wires.
Right.
So we have been trying to find people who are on CPC&H to bring that voice, other than just Edgar. Edgar has a good voice.
Yeah.
But we want more than Edgar's voice on that table, around the table. So hopefully the listening session will help us do that.
And I guess that's another frustration of mine, once again, is the way that we've used the adder has been when we could beat the utility rates, which I think we've only done twice since community power
Right at the
started.
very beginning.
It was
Yeah.
only one
Once.
time that we had that as the default.
Yeah,
Only
Yeah.
one time.
so,
It has been an opt-out.
right, but,
Yeah.
you know, the promise, if you will, was always, you know, there will be a fund to do sustainable energy projects in the future. That just isn't happening.
It isn't happening for two reasons. That is one of them. The other one is that we're a small town, so we don't have a lot of ratepayers. And we are one of the lowest participants in all of the towns. I looked at all the towns and looked at the participation because we have so many people with net metering.
Gotcha.
We are one of
Yep.
the most solarized towns
Yeah.
in the state,
Yeah.
or that has elected community power. Lebanon, Hanover, someplace over on the seacoast, maybe Exeter, have similar low rates, but we've only got like a 75%, 80%
Yeah.
intake
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot to chew on. For me, it comes down to the fact that anyone can take themselves out of community power at any time.
Yeah.
And yes, it means going against what our nature is, which is, we're not gonna do anything for ourselves, we're gonna wait till somebody else puts us on community power, takes us off of it.
Right. Have you guys heard from anyone, because the other thing that, and you know, as I think we've all agreed, newspapers can sometimes sensationalize things, but one of the things that, one of the articles I read talked about was the difficulty people were having getting off of community power.
It's interesting, the people who I've talked to have called that number, have had good experiences.
Yeah.
Edgar, have you heard from anybody or?
No, I haven't heard anybody about complaining trying to get off.
Yeah.
The most concerns, and this is where I come in, is the examples that you have on your in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
The concerns of people is, yes, their bills are higher.
Yep.
And what you have in front of you here is two people in town for Eversource. And the amount of power that the difference in the amount of power that they're using. You start off with the December all the way till February there. Bill. And you can see how much different power, those are the first two sheets.
Okay.
There's the 3 bills in each sheet. Here's I've already on that. And you can see how, because of the weather, they actually used a lot more. And the difference is between two people in town, their experience on the cost. Now, if you look on the third sheet, on the second
With the
bill.
circle?
No,
Is
yeah,
that
the
what it
circle.
is? Yeah,
Yeah.
But the second bill there, that's from 1 year ago. And on there, you can see the fees. Now, the section on the bill that says supplier, that's for community power. That's the only section that community power controls.
Yep.
The delivery section, that comes from the utility.
Right.
So those fees have changed if you compare them. And that's where your majority of bill increase is coming from. That people are experiencing. Now,
not
in
the
the,
community power section, but the supply section,
in the supply,
No, this,
I
the
mean,
delivery
the,
section.
delivery.
delivery.
Now, in the two supplier, in the two neighbor people here, one of them is on the lowest rate, right?
Yep.
And the other one has up to the adder, with an adder rate.
The
And
Canterbury
that's why you see
basic?
yeah,
Okay.
and that's why you see the difference in between, those are on the same time periods. And that's why you see the
I
difference
see
in
it.
rates.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so they're actually paying, depending on the month, maybe an extra $30-some in difference because of how much one is, using 1876 kilowatts and the other one's using 519,
Yeah.
right? And their pay makes it a difference because of that extra adder.
Yep.
But that's the adder that goes to the community that we can later withdraw for projects. But the driving force of the bill is coming from that. One of the obvious ones is the customer charge. If you look a year ago, it used to be $15, now it's $19.81. And then some of the other fees down have changed, and when you multiply times the kilowatts that you're using, that's when the amount adds up real quick.
Yeah.
If you have never seen a bill like this is from Eversource. On the left side there, on the top left, there's a history. It goes backwards of how much they've used. So the people have used similarly to last year during this time. So it's not so much that they've, used all of a sudden so much more. It's pretty similar to how much they've used before in a year ago. So someone withdrawing from Canterbury Community Power will only experience really that 2% difference to the utility rate, because they're still gonna get charged those fees under the delivery section. And they're withdrawing, and the power for community power is the number of people that they supply. So when they show up to buy power from the producers, it matters how many they're supplying to.
Yeah.
So the higher the number we're at, the better power they have when it comes to buying,
Per town or over the whole,
over the whole as an organization.
Yeah, cause they buy it.
right,
So there's,
yeah.
it's a little bit like deciding when to put your money in the stock market. It may be a good time when you decide, but when you make the order and then something happens, the result could be really different than what you expected. And that's what happens on a regular basis to the utilities and to community power. Is that you give your order for the next 6 months, a huge amount, and you're stuck for 6 months. The utilities were recently given the ability to do, I think it's a certain amount on the spot market, which has also allowed them to take more risks and decrease their rate, but they have also overrun that, and so they have some makeup to do.
Yeah.
When they tried to do that makeup this last time around, well, a couple times around ago, instead of, they undercharged for services, for supply. And when they went to make up that, they got the PUC to say, okay, you can make up that. They wanted to take it from charge people on the distribution side of things, which CPC&H pays. But we did not get the supply that was undercharged for. So here's one of the things that CPC&H does. They took them to court and they won. So that is not an option any longer for the utilities to do that. That whole list of benefits that we had in the past is still there for community power. I feel some trepidation in taking a stand for or against CPC&H because
Yeah.
I'm not suffering any additional. But what I look at in the large picture is that we went from 24 cents to like 8 cents because of
Yeah, remember,
competition.
you're right, the earliest rate
So,
settings, yeah.
Even if community power rates are higher right now, the reason they're as low as they are is because there's competition. And the reason CPC&H can't keep up with the utilities right now, yes, there's that reserve thing. But it's because they were undercut by the utilities and they can't do that because they don't have reserves and they don't have shareholders to pull money
Yeah,
from. So that's an advantage, and right now it's a disadvantage.
yeah.
Well,
But-
like looking ahead though, when do you start negotiating the second half of the year?
So the next half of the year goes the end of June. So when we first started, the only thing we could do was undercut the utilities because we didn't have any track record of how much it costs to serve.
Yeah.
Now we do have that track record,
Yeah.
and so they're basing it on that. So regardless of what the utilities charge, we are not gonna undercut how much it costs to serve. So let me get to the question, which was,
Well, I guess my
Yeah.
big question is obviously negotiating the new rate the
That's
second
right.
half of the year, but considering the vast majority of the grid in New England is run off of gas
That's
and
right.
other, which
Got a
in
problem.
today's world is
yeah,
going
and
through the
going
roof
up.
right now. Like, obviously you're gonna, I would assume, anticipate,
and
Everything's
increase.
Power costs
Everything's
going
going
through
up,
the roof.
everything's going up,
and they're
power
gonna try to
costs are
make
gonna
up
go
for, March, April, May, cause they always do, they never leave
Right,
money in the pockets of the consumer.
right, and they've got that PUC charge that they've got to make up, all of them, community power less so than the utilities.
Right, but and
There's
to-
isn't really a negotiation for power for rates, it's a bid.
Okay.
It's not, you don't get to say, I want this, you want that, you
Well, I guess
say-
with the shortcoming, that 8 million shortfall, and then the potential of power going through the roof the second half of the year, like,
Yeah.
does the board, are they anticipating that, are they gonna include that in their bid, so that way they don't come out next year behind again?
Right, I mean, the offers from the suppliers are not gonna be as favorable as they have been recently. So when they put in for what they're gonna get, in all likelihood, I mean, things change so fast. Is it gonna be higher? Well, right now, today, I'd expect that it would be, and we are expecting it would be, and there are some reasons why CPC&H might expect the utilities to not be able to go as low this time, in addition to the energy costs.
Right.
Will
It's hot,
CPC&H be able to go as low even as they could, will they end up being even? They could be,
Even as far as with the utilities,
yeah,
it could happen that way, I don't know.
Well,
But
except,
so the reserve issue is a
Right.
2-cent adder onto the rate that they're gonna get.
2
Um,
cent or 2
2
net?
cent,
It
2
is.
cent.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
cents.
it's 2 cents, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And it is, I don't wanna say about 2 cents. I wanted to have my 2 cents.
Mhm.
The 2 cents is meant to work up the reserve. Because
Right.
right now, they have to borrow in order to pay for energy, which is dumb. And they all know that that's dumb, but it takes time to work up a reserve.
Yeah. And what was the amount that they, Edgar, didn't you tell us? They're gonna build the reserve up to a
Yeah.
certain dollar.
Yeah.
What was that? Was it
You
30
got
million?
I think I said.
Yes,
We have it, yeah,
and
it
in
was like
regards to
30,
that, you
Yeah.
asked about how soon are they gonna be
Correct.
reporting? Because it comes in through the rate.
Yeah.
They said that it'll take about 3 months behind for the amount that they actually have on the reserves. Because it has to work through the
Canterbury reserves.
system. No, he's
No,
talking
I'm
about
talking- yeah.
the reserves for the
CPC&H
CPC&H.
reserve.
Yeah.
because it has to work through their system and in
Yeah.
whatever projects whatever's going on,
Yeah.
that it'd be 3 months before you actually see how much they actually have in
Yeah.
reserves. So
Right.
they report it monthly in the reports, but it's not it's mixed within with other monies that you won't
But
see
you were
that
asking what their
account.
goal was, right?
Correct.
What was
And,
their-
He was saying how much they accumulated so far.
and what their
Yeah.
goal was though.
Yeah.
You gave
Oh,
us a
they-
number for
they-
what the
yeah, it
goal
was
was.
30
I
million,
think
Yeah.
it's like
I-
a 60-day,
yeah, but
60-day reserve.
Yeah,
the amount how much they've accumulated so far
yeah,
is a 3 month delay because the money has
Yeah.
to work through the system.
Yeah.
You have to close accounts and then
right.
send them out and.
And, you know, once again, just speaking for me, that's another concern is they're trying to make up this deficit. And more, so,
I think, would you feel better if you had more of a sense of a timeline, like, okay, they believe that they can make their reserve goals
That's what
and-
So
Yeah.
I have that based on before this last few months, which was 2 cents this time, 2 cents next time, 1 to 2 cents the following time, whittling
You mean
it down.
6 months period?
6-month
Yeah.
periods, yeah,
yeah,
whittling it down
Yeah.
until they get to that point.
right.
They don't
So-
want this 2-cent adder forever,
Yeah.
yet they also don't wanna pay loan
So that sounds
amounts.
like 2 years, if you got 1,666, then down,
Yeah, it's
that's two,
Yeah, it's
like 2
probably
years.
gonna be a couple of years. But we don't know what the utility's gonna do, so we don't know. I mean, it's really, the more I learn, the more I realize this is not an exact science.
Hmm.
And it is hard to predict. When they talk to Bo,
Isn't it?
not sure if it was Bo or somebody else. Basically, the agreement that we signed said, we can get out, we can request to get out at any time.
Mhm.
It needs to be at a time when it isn't gonna put in jeopardy all the other towns. So there's a time frame for that to happen, so you don't get out right away. And you continue to be on community power for a period of time.
Right, but if we're so little that we sort of don't matter, it shouldn't, if we decided to withdraw it, I wouldn't expect it would take all that long.
They don't give a specific and they do a study on what
I
would
think,
be.
yeah, but when you read the article, the reasons it was so long is again, they're working through, you know, where the money is,
Right.
where
But
you
Bow
want
is a
using.
much larger town than Canterbury.
Well, what's the
Yeah,
difference if
right, but
85% of your people
Bow
just opt out?
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
I mean, the power of the people, you can effectively
That's right.
get out of
Right.
community power just by individuals opting out,
And in
by
fact-
assumption.
The town can opt out of community power for our buildings without impacting anybody
Right,
else's.
Right, yeah,
So it is very complicated. What will happen is that CPC&H will get to the point where they're under again. That may be at the time that you're withdrawing, during a period of time. And then in order to get back, if you choose to get back in, you have to go through the whole thing again. And by the time you get back in, you don't know what the rates are gonna be. So, you know, what's best? I've had some people come to me and say my bills are higher, and when I've looked at them, one person had gotten a new car, a Tesla,
okay,
and they've been charging the car for a year and a
Gotcha.
half, using up their excess
Yeah.
that they had built up. So as soon as I explained that, they're like, yeah, okay, it's costing me a couple $100 a
Yeah.
month to charge my Tesla, that's better than what I was paying in gas.
yeah,
And in some instances, I've said, look at the other part of your bill, and they said, oh yeah, that went up a lot.
yeah,
So I haven't heard from anybody who felt that CPC&H wasn't worth doing. But if they did, and even before they figured it out, I said, here's the number. You can leave at any time.
right,
And I know there was a concern expressed in that NHPR piece, that Unitil has a monthly rate that you get dumped into. Well, if you get out anytime between now and July or August, you're in the lower rate for the rest of the season. Because it's going down, because the winter rates are going down.
yeah,
So, that shouldn't be an issue for anybody who gets out now.
yeah.
So,
Right.
you
But the
did,
issue is still telling anybody that they have that choice, because it still sounds like a lot of people don't understand that you actually do. That you can opt up, down, or side, I mean, some people do, but.
we've had, I don't have those numbers with me. There have been some people who've opted up or down or out. Or in.
Where do you see those numbers, through?
They're on the website, and I can get you that information.
I would like to see that, actually, because it would certainly help me know who's hearing what we're saying. How many people realize that.
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden you saw 60 people opt out, you'd say, oh, well.
Well, that's great, because they've made the choice that they needed to make.
Right, but I'd like to know that.
Yeah,
Or
no,
opt up, I mean, because
yeah.
there's still a couple of people in town I know who are paying the highest rate,
Yeah.
because they
Yep.
still wanna support
Yep.
sustainable energy.
Yeah.
Not many, but
Right.
some people
Yeah.
do.
But some are.
There aren't a lot, and the opt-ups, when you leave the town, so we had somebody just leave the apartment, that is shown as someone who, left.
Gotcha.
So a lot of the
Yeah.
people who leave are people who move away and discontinue service.
Yeah,
But then you've got the people who are moving in and starting.
Right. Yes,
New.
which,
right,
Does that show up too, on the place where you get us to, the refreshing, the people who are new?
I don't know, I
yeah,
don't know if it does, but I'll ship that out to everybody.
No, yeah,
Sounds
I'd like to
Yeah.
be able to see that too.
yeah, and certainly I plan to be at the listening session, which
Yeah,
I think is a great
yeah.
idea.
And there will be a representative from CPC&H there,
Yeah.
so we can ask him questions.
Yeah.
Either be Jackson or
Jackson.
Andrew. I'm not, it's maybe Andrew,
Yeah,
so, yeah. Knowing the people who are involved in CPC&H, I have a lot of confidence in the fact that they're doing what they can do to keep these rates down. And they're playing the game of having to buy blind sometimes. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and that just awful.
anything else?
Yeah, go right ahead, Edgar.
So to answer your question, another question you had was about the adder. if we're to withdraw from community power, they said, yes, we can withdraw the funds. Okay, it wouldn't be a problem. But also the second adder that they put in for CPC and H, that, those funds, we can actually withdraw from, but they have a longer time to give us those funds back, because they have up to 36 months. Because it has to work through however many projects the money is being used or not. Another concern is this, is that what CPC&H provides to the New England area and New Hampshire residents here is the fact that the cost of power, cause there's a difference between a rate for electricity and delivery of electricity, okay? The infrastructure for transmission of electricity is very limited, it hasn't been invested in a long time, so the cost for that is gonna go up. They're looking at that already. We're selling natural gas, which is gonna drive the cost of production for electricity, okay? So those rate increases are coming, and CPC&H is providing that competition to the utilities, because the utilities, if they don't have competition, they could drive up those rates and then their fees to whatever they want without that competition. So
Well,
that is the benefit that we have currently in the assistance of CPC&H. While we may look at it like, oh, we're paying 2 cents more than the utility, when it comes to the rate, because remember, CPC&H only affects the supply section. They have no control over the delivery side. So
right,
those 2 cents is making that difference that they're gone tomorrow, the following day, in the next 6 months, the suppliers do not start hiking up back their rates along with their transmission. And there's justification for transmission increases because the amount of consumption is increasing in the United States compared to how much infrastructure there is, so there's more cost development there.
yeah. But
So
they're
that's the part that we gotta
overseen,
understand.
yeah, they're overseen by the PUC though, right? So,
Okay, but they justify the cost for the increase, right, cause that's what they have to do to them. And there is, because how much power is being pulled through the limited infrastructure that we
Right.
have.
Well, so it's not limited, it's the fact they just dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into the high lines, they have to recoup their costs somewhere.
Yeah, that too, but when you, in New England area.
They're paying us a bunch of tax dollars,
Yeah.
more tax dollars, because they
So,
improve
you
the
know,
infrastructure.
so it kind of.
But they pass that on to the rate
It always
payer.
goes to the consumer.
Yeah.
And the real question was, were those old poles needing to be replaced?
60 feet from the lines needed to be
Well,
cut back.
and that's part of the whole justification for the rates that we pay out of municipal safety complex, because they have to be able to provide so much power, the peak demand, and they charge us for that. If our solar panels are covered with snow, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and the highway department turns on a welder and the air compressor comes on, they have to provide that, and that infrastructure has to be in place. And that's how they justify charging us the rates that they charge for that building.
Yeah.
Because they charge us at a commercial rate for that.
So if we switch to, or if we, what's the proposal from Neighborhood Energy, or don't we even know?
I don't know. We got a proposal from Neighborhood Energy out of Thornton. They're a third-party supplier. And the guy in the email told me he could probably get our rates down, for the town buildings,
Yep.
down around 10 cents.
Yep.
We're gonna send them our utility bills.
Yeah.
I told him that the town is pretty much invested in community power. I don't know that even if they were a couple cents cheaper, that the selectmen would agree, but at the same time, I said we
You
can
gotta
send
look.
it, and we'll
Yeah.
get something back.
Right, and then,
And-
you know, I see our role here is to do exactly what we're doing, which is having a conversation, making sure that, you know, the average retired person on a fixed income here is getting the fairest deal that they can.
Does that just come down to better communication or publicity, maybe from community power to tell you how to disenroll or how to get, I mean,
Because our
is that
average.
a simple answer?
So, I got the message through Cal that, we should have something on the website, and more than just how to disconnect, I did a write-up on,
Thank
more than that.
Yeah,
For the,
good.
and I think if you go back to any of the most recent 6 months of town newsletters, that number's on the back page every single time.
I've made that the
Yeah.
community power place
Yeah,
is the
that's
back
good.
page.
Yeah.
So,
But still, I
we
mean-
want people to know that, it's not hidden in any way, we
But-
wanna make sure that people know, this is not, a dictatorship, you can make a choice here.
I think that, looking at it from a business standpoint, I think that Community Power did a very good service to the customers, because like you said, they provided competition to the utilities. And I think like you said, the utilities have a fairly substantial reserves, so they can afford to cut their rates.
Yeah.
But at some point, they're gonna have to bump their rates back up, because they can't keep eating to those reserves.
Yeah.
Cause they answer to their stockholders. And if the stockholders aren't getting some kind of money back, then they're gonna,
Squawk.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's gotta be like surfing, because I mean, thankfully, okay, so if CNH gets into the game, brings rates down for everybody, okay, now their rates are a little higher, but now the utilities are much lower than they would have been otherwise, and anybody in town who can opt down, if they don't, and then when the utilities go back up, they can opt back in if community power is lower.
yeah.
If somebody's willing to do that, they can always have the lowest
Yeah,
rate.
but I think Beth mentioned it, and I think it's absolutely true, human nature being what it is.
Well, yeah,
Not gonna take action.
Right.
Yeah.
Has community power looked into the net metering? Cause I
They are
remember we
looking
spoke,
into
They're
it
trying.
continuously.
And
There's
have
a,
been.
there's a law that would need to get changed in order to make that happen,
Yeah.
and this is not the right atmosphere to make that change.
Yeah.
Though they are continuing to try.
cause we'd just be curious to see all the people that have
Yeah.
solar in town, how they could
Mhm.
contribute.
yeah.
So at the listening session, we'll address that. There are certain customers who are early adopters who use the power, but it doesn't completely cover them, like, I think, like the town. That it still makes sense for them because they're not building up a surplus. But anybody who's building up a surplus and not taking it all the way down to zero is not gonna,
Right.
it's not gonna benefit. And anybody who put their system in part of 2017
Right.
and later, you can't make it work.
I mean, like I make a surplus every month on mine, and we put ours in 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wouldn't, under the current circumstances, you wouldn't benefit from, you would only lose by going on community power. I mean, I'd love to go on community power and take their highest rate and have all of that renewable energy coming in on my behalf and then repay it with solar. Trade it for solar, but
Yep.
that's not how it works
Right.
yet.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that they're working on that they're doing the work to pass laws and to lobby and to be at the PUC means to me that the ratepayers are getting a much better deal.
Well, there's a new commissioner, right, at the PUC?
There is,
There is,
Someone new.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
or has he been
In the
elected,
process.
or is it, yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah,
I
somewhere.
don't know where it is.
I just wanted to sort of attempt to summarize it if we're basically done. A little bit of wrap up and summarize. One thing is, as of today, I saw in an email that CPCNH has appointed a new executive
Yes.
director.
I got the same email.
Who is, you
Yeah.
you're on
Yeah, we
that.
got it.
Yeah,
Who's been around a long time.
yeah, yeah, he was here for the original meetings.
Yeah.
He was here for things even before that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the biggest thing that stands out in my mind is that by remaining members of CPCNH, we give our residents the option to either drop out and get back in when the time is right. And if we were not members of CPCNH, they couldn't get back in. So that's one thing, and I don't think it costs us anything to remain members.
No.
And as you were saying, the town itself or its own accounts can get out of CPCNH and go somewhere else,
Or get back in.
or get back in,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I see.
Yeah.
about it.
Alright. Well,
So while I'm thinking of it, would it be helpful if we targeted and this is probably a conversation better to have the next committee meeting, but if we target instead of, a lot of the information we put on the back page of the newsletter's got a lot of information. Just put one thing a month in
Yes.
there, like one like this, if you wanna opt out, this is it. But is it helpful for people who don't know how to do this or are fearful or don't wanna call? Can we be in here one afternoon a month
Yeah.
and say, if you would like to opt in or out, come sit, we'll help you do it.
Oh, that's a good idea, I like that.
So for
Yeah.
any
They'll
little.
still have to read.
They still have to read, but they'll have somebody reading with them, and if
That's right.
they don't wanna do it, at least we can, so we'll be here for 1 hour a month, 2 hours a month or whatever.
I think
Change
that's a
our
great
committee
idea.
meetings to the middle of the day and have them come in.
Yeah.
But I think if people are hesitant about doing it themselves, that's part of our role is to help them do that.
Yep. I think that's great, and make it easier for people to make that very difficult decision to
Yeah.
go forward and
Yeah.
take action.
Yeah, and again, if they decide 1 month to do it, and then 1 month they wanna switch back, and we're here again, and they can do it, and
2-time limit.
okay,
You're 40 minutes into this conversation.
thank you, okay.
And we still have an executive session.
Yes,
Oh,
we do.
yes, I do, I forgot about that.
Thank you all, we'll see you
alrighty.
at the
Thank you
listening
for
session.
asking, because
Thank
it's
you.
really important,
These are really helpful,
I
Edgar,
read
thank
you
you.
on, but I mostly heard.
and I'll get to your bills.
Yes, thank you,
Did not do that today.
thank you, no, we
That's
did not.
wise.
Alrighty, thank you.
Alright,
Good night,
thanks Edgar.
thanks Fred.
Thanks for coming, Fred. Alright,
We have one more thing on old business.
Yep,
That is
the meeting house light proposal from Affinity.
correct. So I think I sent you that.
You did.
excuse me, yes, you did.
I also met with a separate contractor today and he's gonna give me a price in the next 2 days.
Okay.
Oh,
So
great.
I would like to see what he
Yeah.
gives us
Yeah.
versus what Affinity's giving us.
Yep, and I think that's kind of where I was too.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was a 10-year payback for this
Yeah.
building, and I
Yeah.
just didn't, for the amount, and I think they base their math off an 8-hour day would be my assumption, and
Yeah.
they certainly don't use this
No.
building 8 hours,
No.
so my guess is it would go even longer for a
Yeah.
payback.
And did you approach this other company who's coming, or did they find us?
I approached them,
Okay,
it's
thank
the
you.
same electrician we used for the lights at the high bays in both the fire station and the highway.
oh,
Okay,
okay,
thank
Yep.
you.
So it's a known
Yeah.
vendor and
yeah, we know their work.
it's not a big job and he would say he's gonna get back to me.
Yeah, I really like the Affinity Company, and I thought their presentation was great, and I think that would be great for the municipal center, which seems to be more their size.
Yes.
But for this, the cost was
Yep.
astonishing, I thought, so, okay,
I agree. Alright,
that was fast.
yeah, alright.
Thank you for,
Anything else before we adjourn into executive session?
I don't believe so.
Alright, then I will make a motion that we adjourn into executive session.
I will second that.
Alright,
Oh, according
actually-
to, wait,
yep, per RSA 91A, :3 2A. Dismissal, promotion, or compensation of a public employee.
I will,
Looking for a second.
I will second that.
All those in favor of adjourning into executive session?
Aye.
Alright,
Alright, thank you,
Edgar,
Edgar.
thank you for double duty tonight, we appreciate it. Sure.
Yes, go ahead.